Welcome to the New York Police Channel, where we bring you thrilling stories, high-speed chases, and intense situations that law enforcement officers face every day. In today's video, we'll highlight 5 standout incidents, from dangerous pursuits to the decisive tactics used by the police to ensure road safety. Join us as we follow these gripping moments and uncover the stories behind each challenging situation. At 12:55 p.m. on August 29, 2024, Arkansas State Police Corporal Arnold spotted a black Dodge Charger, North Carolina plate KKA 1309, tailgating a semi-truck on Interstate 30 near mile marker 76. As soon as CPL Arnold closed the distance, the suspect suddenly slowed down, appearing to try to play it cool. But the situation escalated quickly when the officer activated his lights at mile marker 78, signaling the driver to pull over. Instead of stopping, the driver of the Dodge Charger pretended to comply, taking exit 78 and pulling into a mobile gas station. But just as Corporal Arnold approached, the suspect slammed the gas pedal and bolted back onto Interstate 30. The chase was on. The Dodge Charger surged forward at an unbelievable 140 miles per hour, 225 kilometers per hour, weaving in and out of heavy traffic, even using the shoulder to pass other vehicles. For 10 miles, the pursuit raced through chaos, with every second bringing new danger. The suspect, desperate to escape, continued to push the limits of his vehicle as traffic thickened ahead, trapping him further on the highway.
We're past 84 now.
Finally, the Dodge Charger was boxed in by traffic near mile marker 88. With nowhere left to run, the driver made a fatal decision. He attempted to ram CPL Arnold's patrol car in one last bid to escape. It was a huge mistake. Corporal Arnold executed a tactical vehicle intervention, TVI, forcing the Charger to come to a violent stop. The suspect, Mr. Penny, was swiftly taken into custody and transported to the Clark County Detention Center. What began as a reckless attempt to evade the law ended with the driver facing multiple charges, as his decision to flee only sealed his fate. At approximately 6:29 p.m. on April 18, 2024, Trooper J. Perez Morales responded to a bolo, be on the lookout, for a black Dodge Charger that had been involved in multiple armed burglaries in Miami-Dade County. The Miami-Dade police requested the assistance of the Florida Highway Patrol, FHP, to help terminate the active pursuit. Without hesitation, Trooper Perez headed southbound on State Road 826, positioning himself at the apex divider of Northwest 58th Street. Soon after, the black Dodge Charger appeared, using the outside shoulder to bypass traffic, despite having a blown rear right tire. The suspect vehicle was moving slowly at around 25 miles per hour. Even though the vehicle was clearly damaged, the driver refused to stop when Trooper Perez activated his blue lights and sirens. The chase intensified as Trooper Perez attempted the first pit maneuver to stop the suspect, but it failed. Refusing to give up, Trooper Perez lined up for a second attempt, and this time, the pit was successful. The Dodge Charger spun out of control, rotating towards the outside shoulder of State Road 826. The high-speed chase, filled with tension, ended in a violent but necessary action to stop the dangerous driver.
Off on metal, right before 54. I'm just putting in units to jump the place as well. Perfect.
After the successful PIT maneuver, the driver lost control and crashed into Trooper Perez's patrol vehicle. The driver quickly exited the car, jumped over a chain-link fence, and attempted to flee on foot down Northwest 77th Avenue. However, backup from Miami-Dade Police and Virginia Gardens Police quickly closed in. Officer Lozano from Virginia Gardens Police apprehended the suspect, later identified as Kamari Keyshawn Jackson. The suspect was charged and booked with multiple offenses. The two other passengers, Kenneth Irving and Peyton Ivan Pierre, stayed in the vehicle and were arrested. The damaged Dodge Charger, with a blown tire and hanging rear bumper, was recovered. All three individuals were transported to the hospital for clearance before being taken to TGK for booking. Charges: aggravated fleeing and eluding under Florida Statute 316.1935, subsection 4, subsection A. Resisting officer without violence under Florida Statute 843.02. Southeast County Road 234, Florida. A tan Chevy Sigma suddenly drew attention when the driver threw a beer can out. This reckless move caught the eye of law enforcement. As the vehicle sped ahead at 45 miles per hour, the driver completely disregarded.
Tango 937, 10 City.
Weaving dangerously.
Signal 12.
The police quickly realized the situation was escalating and decided
17,000 Southeast County Road 234, 28. Hold on to the lane of traffic. Yes. Once he drops down to 45, I'm going to fit him. We're heading towards 441. We're coming up to 441 now. He's in the wrong lane of traffic. Through the median. Coming up to the pole. The highway patrol is directly in front of me, if you can let them know.
The pursuit intensified as the driver of the Chevy Sigma not only kept speeding, but also began to challenge the police openly. The driver swerved through lanes, at times driving directly in the opposite direction. Throughout the chase, the driver exhibited defiant and rude gestures, flipping off the officers. The situation became more dangerous as the vehicle continued to head toward Marion County. The police were unwavering in their pursuit, determined to stop the reckless driver. Despite the driver's erratic moves, they stayed close behind, ready to act at any moment. The chase was now a race against time, as every second brought more risk to everyone on the road.
I'll go to pursuit from here. We're back northbound towards the full speeds are 94, no traffic in the northbound lane at this time. We can get in the area or make a mutual aid across the Marion County for the area. Alright, we're coming through the intersection. We're trying to make another loop. Go ahead towards center. There's the pit there. We're coming through. Looking at the. I don't see any traffic. Jay, you see anybody ahead of you driving on us?
Jay's always ran me twice now.
They cut back towards 441. Seminary here. speed is 55. And I'm going to traffic out. They look it up the other day. Okay, I'm going to stay here and just go back out though. Yeah, FHP and Union County Medical.
We'll ram those cars. Yes. He's on the inside lane now. Back on the outside lane.
That Veterans Way, still southbound into George Wayne County. Overland County, please.
Speed's 100. Traffic light.
Sorry, something, real something? Just headed into Marion.
Eventually, the Chevy Sigma began to slow down, unable to keep up with its reckless path. The driver lost control and could no longer evade the police. The officers took swift action and ended the chase. The driver, whose actions had posed a significant threat to public safety, was arrested on the spot. Not only was this dangerous driving a risk to the driver himself, but it also endangered the lives of other drivers on the road. The driver now faced serious charges related to reckless driving and resisting law enforcement officers. At approximately 1:33 a.m. on April 1st, 2025, I received a notification from a MEMS ambulance that was following a white Buick driving recklessly on I-40 West. In response, I decided to exceed the speed limit in order to close the distance quickly, ensuring that the driver would not be aware of my approach. As I turned onto Doyle Venable, I saw the Buick speeding dangerously westbound in the eastbound lanes. The driver's side door was open, and I immediately activated my emergency lights. The vehicle slowed as if it were going to stop, but as I neared, the driver, a bald black male wearing glasses, made eye contact with me and then snapped his head forward, accelerating away. The pursuit was on.
Traffic. Stop the vehicle. Better 22 reading for a stop, but he was driving on the wrong side of the roadway on Doyle Venable. Go ahead and call 36.
Down 33rd, towards 13 acres, no traffic, speed.
Looks like he's occupied by a single black bald man with glasses on. He's driving on the wrong side of the road, but there's no traffic obviously in public.
Stay there, 6 days. Coming up to Pershing, no traffic, speed, or 45.
Better 22, you can get the second route and get the stop, I appreciate it.
Still south on Pershing Lane, 10,000 23rd, no traffic, speed 50. Driver door hit the post up. Still doing 59 now, coming up to 19. Yeah, no traffic.
I pursued the Buick as it sped down Berks, reaching about 57 miles per hour, and then on to Pike, where the vehicle reached approximately 69 miles per hour. I informed my supervisor that the vehicle was traveling in the wrong direction, but noted that there was no other traffic and no immediate danger to the public. However, a vehicle crested a small hill and swerved to avoid the fleeing Buick. As the pursuit continued, the Buick turned onto West 18th, slowed to around 32 miles per hour, and then veered off into the yard between 311 and 307 West 18th. The vehicle continued through the narrow alley between the two homes, and although I briefly slowed down, I assessed the situation and decided to continue the chase, as the only risk would be knocking over 2 trash cans.
Right here. He's reaching for his waistband, so pop that taser. Good.
The Buick then ran into the backyard and crashed through a gate, creating an opening for the driver to flee on foot. I chased him through the narrow alley and saw a black object on his right hip. Unsure of what it was, I feared it could be a firearm. Given his reckless actions, I deployed my taser without warning, aiming for close quarters immobilization. The taser hit him in the shoulder blade and the rear of his left thigh, causing him to collapse onto the wet, grassy ground. I allowed the taser's 5-second cycle to complete and did not need to use it further. I immediately reported the use of force, requested a supervisor, and medical assistance as per policy. Officers arrived, placed the suspect in handcuffs, and searched him. Nothing of evidentiary value was found. The suspect, identified as Mr. Demetrius Kelly, was then transported to the patrol car for further processing. On February 22, 2025, a high-speed pursuit unfolded in Lanoke County, Arkansas, as Arkansas State Police Troop A engaged in a dangerous chase with Dominic Copenhaver, who was driving a gray 2017 Mercedes-Benz at speeds exceeding 130 miles per hour on Interstate 40 westbound. The pursuit began after Copenhaver failed to stop for a traffic violation, where he was initially pulled over for impeding traffic. Instead of complying with the officer's request, Copenhaver decided to flee, sparking a reckless and high-risk chase through the highway. His decision to flee placed not only himself, but also everyone on the road at significant risk.
White male, possibly mixed male, got a tattoo on his face. It's about 4 miles from the gray Mercedes. Records tonight. Trying to get you as fast as your shoulder. 70 seconds later. Come here. Did you see him? Okay, it's a Mercedes. I don't know, he might have got back on. Hang on.
As Copenhaver sped down the highway, the pursuit intensified. He was driving at breakneck speeds and using the right shoulder to pass other vehicles, creating a dangerous environment for other drivers. Despite the significant risks, the Arkansas State Police kept the pressure on, refusing to let him escape. The reckless driver showed no signs of slowing down, with the officers working tirelessly to stay close behind him. The situation escalated, and as the chase neared Pulaski County, the officers knew they had to act fast. With the danger increasing and the suspect showing no intention of stopping, the police deployed a tactical vehicle intervention to bring the dangerous pursuit to an end.
Come out. I don't care about the decision. Take it out.
The high-speed chase ended when the officers successfully executed the TVI, bringing Dominic Copenhaver's Mercedes-Benz to a halt. The suspect was apprehended without further incident. Following his arrest, Copenhaver was identified as the driver and faced multiple charges for his reckless driving and evasion of law enforcement. This incident highlights the extreme dangers of reckless driving and the incredible risks that law enforcement officers take in pursuit of suspects. Copenhaver will now face the consequences of his actions in a court of law, as he is held accountable for the high-speed chase and endangering public safety.